For years, we've all obsessed over YouTube search. It's been the holy grail. But as we look at 2026, the entire game has been turned on its head. So in this explainer, we're going to answer the one question on every creator's mind. Is traditional YouTube SEO finally dead? Let's just start with a number that kind of rewrites the entire rulebook: 70%. Yeah, industry data is showing that 70% of all views on YouTube now come directly from the platform's own recommendations. Not search, not your subscribers, the algorithm itself. And that number, it leads us straight to this massive conflict, right? If the algorithm is driving almost 3/4 of all views through the homepage and the up next feed, does optimizing for keywords even matter anymore? Are we all just kind of wasting our time? And look, this isn't just some theory I'm throwing at you. It is a real, raw frustration creators are feeling every single day. Just look at this comment from the r/newtubers community on Reddit. This person sees it plain as day. The algorithm doesn't like their video. It just perfectly captures that feeling of helplessness we've all had. Okay, so to figure this all out, we need to get one thing straight first. We have to understand where views actually come from today. Let's pull back the curtain on the real discovery engine. And wow, this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? That huge slice of the pie, a whopping 70%, that's all the algorithm. That's your homepage, suggested videos, up next, the whole shebang. The other 30%, that's everything else. Search, your subscribers, links from Twitter, all of it. So the number one takeaway here is your main audience isn't human. It's the algorithm. But hold on, does that mean search is totally useless? No way, absolutely not. It just means the roles have changed. Here's a great way to think about it. Search is the front door. It's how you get that perfect viewer who is actively, intentionally looking for what you've made. But recommendations? That's the party inside. That's where the real compounding growth happens. When YouTube starts introducing you to millions of people it thinks will love you. Okay, so this brings us to a brand new unified goal. If you want to win at both search and recommendations, you've got to focus on one thing and one thing only: pleasing the algorithm. And the one metric, the North Star, that the algorithm cares about most is something called viewer satisfaction. Now, what's really important here is the definition. It's not just about views or subscribers. It's the whole collection of signals. We're talking watch time, likes, comments, that proves your video did its one job. It kept someone on YouTube. Now, I know viewer satisfaction can sound a little fluffy, a little vague, but we can actually break it down into 4 solid pillars. It all starts with your content quality and keeping people watching. Then, your metadata has to signal what you're about. After that, you need a killer click-through rate. And finally, you got to get that viewer engagement to prove they loved it. If there is one sentence from today that you burn into your brain, please make it this one from that Reddit discussion. It just cuts right to the chase. YouTube isn't trying to find viewers for your videos, it's trying to find videos for its viewers. Your job is to prove that your video is the one that's going to keep people glued to the platform. All right, theory's over. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's get into the actionable playbook for 2026. Part 1 is all about signaling your relevance. How do you tell the algorithm, in no uncertain terms, what your video is actually about? Because make no mistake, the algorithm is scarily smart now. I mean, look at this. New research shows that AI can now analyze everything. The video frames, the audio, the text on screen. It doesn't just see pixels anymore. It understands context. It gets the joke. It knows this is a humorous Naruto gameplay video, not just a random animated fight. So, knowing the AI is that advanced, what do? We have to spoon-feed it crystal clear signals. That means meticulously optimizing these 5 things: your titles, descriptions, your tags, the actual words you speak in the video, which it gets from your captions, and your video chapter. And hey, here's a practical cheat sheet. You can literally screenshot this and use it on your very next upload. Now, don't just look at the max characters. The real secret sauce is in that recommended column. It's not about stuffing in words. It's about strategically placing your most important keywords right where they'll have the biggest impact. So, you've done the work, you've signaled your relevance, and the algorithm has put your video in front of the perfect person. Awesome. Now comes part 2, the much harder part. You have to deliver on the promise you just made to that human being. So, how do you win over the humans? It all comes down to this checklist. First, you've got to hook them in the first 30 seconds. No excuses. Then, you're aiming for over 50% average view duration. To even get them in the door, your thumbnail needs to be custom, high contrast, and scream, "Click me." And finally, ask specific questions and use end screens to turn one view into a whole binge session. And to make it even easier, let's just bust some common myths and fix some of the most common mistakes creators make. Like, instead of stuffing keywords into your title, just use one clear keyword plus one clear benefit for the viewer. Instead of forgetting about mobile, use huge, readable text on your thumbnails. Seriously, these tiny little changes can make a massive difference.
All right, let's bring it all home. The future of growing on YouTube isn't a choice between search or recommendations. It's a hybrid. You have to start using search for recommendations.
Which brings us right back to that big, central question one last time. After everything we've looked at, is YouTube search dead? And the answer after all this is a big, resounding no. It's not dead, but its job has fundamentally changed. Search is now the essential first step. It's the launch pad. It is how you prove to the algorithm that your video perfectly satisfies a very specific, high-intent audience. Because that real, exponential, channel-changing growth, it only happens when you satisfy that initial audience so well that the recommendation engine basically says, whoa, people searching for this absolutely love this video. I gotta show it to millions more people just like them. That, right there, that's the new goal. And if you're wondering why this strategy is so incredibly powerful, just look at this chart. With paid ads, sure, you get views, but the growth stops the second your money runs out. With modern SEO, you're building an asset. You're creating a growth engine that compounds on its own, forever, for free. And you gotta realize, this shift, it's bigger than just YouTube. As this great quote from Martech points out, the entire idea of discovery is changing. The new front door to the internet isn't a search bar anymore. It's gonna be an AI assistant. And getting found in that world, it requires a whole new way of thinking. So there you have it. You now know the new rules of the game. You've got the modern playbook for YouTube growth in your hands. So the only question left is, what are you gonna change in your very next video?